trainers, coaches, we sometimes may ask ourselves, I'm not trainers and coaches. However, really look into it a bit further, you realize that on the daily basis, we act as a trainers and coaches in our professional as well as personal environment. I'm a mother, I am training my kids, the skills that they need. I'm a trainer for my children. I'm also coaching my children. I'm a coach of my children. Even in partnering relationship. So remember, this club is a trainers, coaches. However, we are not saying you have to be coaches, you have to be trainers. But if you're inspired to be one, you want to learn more skills, this is a place where we will always welcome you here. With that, I just like to welcome our guest visiting Toastmaster tonight. Toastmaster from Brunei, Nina, welcome to our meeting. And also Toastmaster of 2 days, Daisy from Indonesia, and welcome to our meeting. As well as Heidi, I think she's from Indonesia as well. Am I right? Brunei,
Hi.
sorry.
Hi, Heidi is from Brunei.
Hi, welcome to our meeting. And also,
Hi, sorry, I'm driving, so I can't put the video on. Sorry.
It's right when it's convenient. And also welcome back our TNC member. Haven't been seeing her for a while in our club meeting, Dr. Sofiana Chua. Welcome to our meeting. And also our our members to be Toastmaster Lorna. Welcome back again. Thank you for always spending time with us, exchanging experience, exchanging knowledge with us in our meeting. Very much appreciative of your time. And I also like to welcome our friend all the way from Europe right now, from Italy, Toastmaster Robina. Welcome. With that, tonight we have a lot in store. Maybe not a lot, but a lot of information and knowledge and also insight, experience to share with you all. So with that, I'd like to pass the floor to our Toastmaster of the meeting, our Dr. Renko Yong. Over to you, Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, President. Welcome all the Toastmaster and guests to our meeting tonight. Our theme for tonight is Training is the Best Form of Learning by Jimmy Narang. Training is the best form of learning. This is our theme for tonight. And we are happy to have our first trainer, Sofiana Chua, with us tonight to share 20 to 30 minutes with us. And we have a center stage. The trainer will be our president, Shelina He. She'll be sharing the title, Training for Success. We are about to start our meeting tonight, and we hope everyone will enjoy the night. First, we would like to invite Dr. Sofiana Chua for her training session. The title is The ABCs of Strategic Planning. The ABCs of Strategy Planning.
Hello.
Over to you, Sofiana Chua.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'd like to share screen, please. Oh. Can you see?
Yes, can.
Allow me to be in this editing mode. So because I'll be doing this as interactive, so we'll be putting some input from you, yeah? So today's topic is on the ABCs of strategic planning. So the agenda will be the ABCs of strategic planning, and I'll be giving some examples followed by some exercises that we'll be doing. Throughout this session, you'll be hearing keywords such as vision, mission, core values, external environmental scanning, which also stands for horizon scanning, landscape analysis. Another term you'll hear is key success measures, or what we call KPIs, key performance indicators, targets, And you'll be hearing words like strategies, actions, solutions, and initiatives. But how do we place all of them in the order of ABC? So for example, with A, you've got vision, mission, and core values. Where vision stands more for your aspirations, your direction, the dream that you want, what you want to be. Mission is more defining your purpose, your core business. Your core values will be more the guiding principles which defines the culture. For example, the culture of your organization. With B, there's only one component known as key success measures. And this is where you start measuring your success or the success of your vision. So we define them in terms of what we call key performance indicators, targets, and objectives. And with C, these are all your actions, all your solutions, all your strategies, your programs, your projects, your initiatives that you need to do in order to fulfill your B or your KPIs. Because if you fulfill your KPIs, you would meet your vision, your A. So in that order. I'm going to touch a little bit about what I call GO and AO. Mainly for the importance of showing the differences between the various terms that I've used. For example, we always get confused, for example, between vision and mission. And the other one that we usually get confused is between key success measures and strategies. It's a very common kind of confusion. Let me start with vision. So vision, as we talked earlier, is about your aspiration, your direction, your dream. So it's more goal-oriented. As opposed to mission. Mission defines your purpose. Why are you here? Why do you exist? If it's yourself, it's what is my purpose in life? If it's about your business, what is my core business? Am I a training center? Am I about food and F&B? Yeah. So mission is more action-oriented, AO. Whereas core values are the guiding principles, your culture, which sets the culture of your organization or the culture of yourself, your own values. And it could be anything like, say, integrity, teamwork, yeah, collaboration, anything that defines your core values, which are the guiding principles. And these are the guiding principles. If you have a company or a business, this would be the guiding principles for your people, your employees. So it's more goal-oriented. The other one I want to touch on is about key success measures. So here we talk about KPIs, key performance indicators. We talk about targets, objectives. So they are very goal-oriented. And the last, all your solutions, your strategies are all action-oriented. When you do your ABC, you're only building a plan. It's still just a blueprint. You have not executed. So it's very important we spend time to do our ABC correctly before we start implementing. But if you look at your ABC, if we do implement, which one will we implement? Do you think we'll implement our A, our B, or our C? Which one do you think? If you can type in the chat. Let me repeat the question. ABC is about building your strategic plan. Building, not implementing yet. But if I want to implement my strategic plan, that means I want to execute it and run it. Do you think I'll run my A, my B, or my C? What do you think?
AO.
A, B, or C? Do
C?
Yes. Yeah. We
C.
execute our C, right? Because that is where we execute the actions. We run the actions. It'll be hard to run your vision, right? How do I execute my vision? Or how do I execute my KPIs? So usually we execute would be our actions. And because of that, what costs us time and money would be our C, our actions. So we must always make sure our actions are enough, lean enough to help us to fulfill our key success measures, to help out to us to fulfill our B. Because if we meet our Bs, we will meet our A. So among all of these, we will execute our C, which are our actions, or we can say action plan, yeah, our strategy plan. And this is the part that costs you time and money. Let me start with a very simple example. After I confuse everybody, let me start with a very simple example. When you were about 9 years old, or in some cases, you could be as young as 8, 7 even, right? Do you remember when you have to write your first composition? And it's always about, in my time, during my time anyway, it was always about my ambition, yeah? And at that age, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm like, what do I really want to do? Were you ever faced with this, where you had to do an essay like this? And did we know straight away what we wanted to do? At least for me, I didn't. Yeah. So what would be the first thing that I'll do? I've been given this page to fill. My teacher will probably give me about 15 minutes to do this. I don't have any idea what I want to do. So what I'll do is I'll look around. I'll say, oh, okay, my father is a policeman. My mom is a housewife. My auntie is a teacher. I look around and watch TV programs. And, oh, okay, there's a lawyer there. There's a vet here. There's an astronaut there. What do I want to be? So I'll look around. And the next thing I'll do is I'll look around. The next thing I'll do is I'll think of a few. Not bad. Teacher, not bad. Housewife, even not bad. Yeah. But I still got to write that essay, right? So I got to decide on one pretty quickly. And once I decide on one, only then I plan. Once I plan with my ABC, my vision, my KPIs, and my strategies, then only then I act on my plan, which is I act on my C. Let us try this as an example. So if I want to be a teacher by, say, 2025, right? But because I still got to look around, I look around, I say, father's a policeman, mother's a housewife, aunt is a teacher, and I look at all these other professions. But I've got to think of a few which I would like. So teacher, vet, lawyer, housewife. This is on my list. But I have to decide on one. So I decide on one and I choose teacher. Once I choose teacher, that would be my A, my vision. So my vision is to be a teacher by, say, 2025. My dream, my aspiration, goal-oriented. Only then I set my targets, my objectives, my key success measures, and my KPIs. This one would be what we call the proof of your success, my key success measures, which means that if someone comes up to me in 2025 and asks me, have you fulfilled your vision? I'll say yes. They'll say, what is your proof? My proof is that I've got a teacher certificate. My baseline, I didn't have any, 0 becomes 1. I have a teaching practice. Yeah, I was not teaching in any schools. Now I'm teaching in one school. I got a teaching job. I got no job at that time. Now I've got one job. So these would be the targets. And this is what we call your key success measures, or your proof of your evidence of your success. And these are the KPIs. If I meet these, I will meet my vision. In order to meet my KPIs, I have to do something, right? I've got to take actions. So these would be all the actions I can take in order to fulfill my KPIs, because if I meet my KPIs, I will meet my vision. So what are my actions? It will be enroll on the course, study hard, make sure I got a work-life balance, I sit for exams and so on. But say, right, I want to also climb Mount Everest. Can I do that? I can do that. I say, oh, because I don't want to be just a teacher. I want to be a geography teacher. And for some reason, I need to climb something, be it a mountain or a hill. I need to climb something. Yeah. So I put down I climb Mount Everest. But you know, and I know that your strategies is what costs you time and money. It's expensive, right? So can we seek an alternative to climbing Mount Everest? So we may change that and say maybe climb Mount Kinabalu. Yeah. But if say I really don't need to climb a mountain to become a teacher, I can take that out. Okay. So all these ones, if you remember, your C cost you time and money. So let us try again with our GO and AO. GO stands for goal-oriented, AO stands for action-oriented. In this case, vision, would it be GO or AO? Let me know in your chat. Is vision A, GO, or AO? That's good. GO. What about B, your targets, your objectives, your KPIs, and your KSMs? GO or AO? Thank you. AO. What about your strategies? Would it be AO or GO? Oh, yeah, so that would be AO. Your B, sorry, is your GO, right? B is still GO. So vision is GO, targets would be GO, strategies and actions would be AO. Which ones among these would cost you time and money? Is it A, B, or C? C. So we've got to make sure it's very lean. Yeah, we've got to make sure it's very lean. On the other hand, what we measure is also very important. At this point, I said I want to measure, my measures would be my teaching certificate, my teaching practice, and my teaching job. Can I also say I want to measure the color of my hair? Can I do that? Yeah, it is black. I want to change it to purple. Can I do that? You can straight away see, no, it's not right. But if you're working for a big strategic, if you're making a very big strategic plan, for example, for an organization, sometimes your key success measures, you do not, you cannot really see that it is not the right one to measure. Yeah. But in this case, because it's a personal level, we can see that straight away. So again, be very clear about what you want to measure, what your B's are, and be very clear about what your C's are, because your C's are the one that cost you time and money. Any questions so far? Let me move on to the next one. Hang on, yeah. Right. But as we get older, right? Yeah, we tend to lose the terms known as look around, think of a few, decide on one, plan, and act. Yeah, we tend to lose those terms. Because once you join a company or you have your own business and all that, and someone asks you to do a strategic plan, straight away we become a lot more serious, right? Oh, you know, this one is something. But if you think about it, you've actually done strategic planning as a kid. You were doing it when you had to write your ambition, your essay, right? And if you think about it, right, we can fail our strategic plan at any point. For example, if I want to be a teacher, then I change my mind, I would have failed at that point. Yeah. If I plan properly, but I didn't act on my plan, I would have failed as well. So I could have failed at any one point. But as we grow older, the terms we use would not be like look around. We call it external environmental scanning. So it sounds a lot more professional. But it's actually just looking around, yeah? You're just scanning the environment. We say, instead of saying, we'll think of a few. So if your boss asks you to do something, you say, I'll think of a few. You don't say that. You say, I'll be doing strategic thinking. So it sounds more posh. Then if you go to decide on one vision, you don't say, I'll decide on one. You say, I'll be doing strategic decision making. And you say, oh, okay, I'll plan. No, I'll be doing strategic planning. And you say, I'll act on my plan. You say, I'll be doing strategic plan implementation and evaluation. It sounds a lot more. Yeah. But the thing is that once we do that, sometimes we forget that it's actually quite intrinsic in the daily things that we do. Yeah. Strategic planning is more, we do it more rampant than we think in everyday's life. Now, let me move on to another example. So we've done the teacher example. Let us try on another example where we talk about say, for example, my vision is to shed weight by, which I need to do anyway, but to shed weight by 2024 December, okay? I need to do that. So for example, I look around, you know, during COVID time, you don't have much things to do, right? You start looking around and then you say, okay, there's online gym packages around. And then you look around, you look at the NCD rate, the non-communicable diseases rate, or that's going up, yeah? Or there's also something like liposuction, or you watch the news and you look at all these different things. And you start thinking of, what can I do, right? Can I do a business in, a F&B business, or should I join a fitness program, or, should I shed weight, do a person of my own, and so on. So I decide on one. I decided that I want to shed weight, and I want to shed weight by December 2024. Now, you tell me, how long is my strategic plan? How many months is my strategic plan? Now it's already March, right? Yeah. So we're talking about 9 months strategic plan. Yeah. And so what would be the targets? Now, if someone comes up to me, the way to read my targets would be, if someone comes up to me and asks me, have you met your vision? Your vision is to shed 10 kg. Have you met it? What do you think my KPI would look like? What do you think?
You can fit into a one size smaller outfit dress.
Yeah, so I don't know, like 14 becomes 8. Yeah. Okay.
That's a lot.
What do you think is the main KPI? What do you think? The main KPI
Less weight.
is the weight, isn't it? Yeah. So the weight, I'm X, I become X minus 10. Yeah. Okay. So I become lighter by X minus 10. And then all my actions would be, I join the gym, I run how many kilometers a day, and so on. So I do all these things. At this point, I can also start climbing Mount Everest again, but I can't. That costs me time and money. So I maybe do something else, right? But we will start choosing things which would help us to achieve our targets. Okay? Now, So wait. But if I want to be physically fit now, just now was shedding weight, right? So in a way, my main KPI is weight. But now if I want to be physically fit, do you notice that my KPI changes? It's not so much about weight anymore. Yeah. BMI, yes, it measures your weight and your height. But I also be concerned about my blood pressure. I'll also be concerned about my cholesterol level. Yeah? So if I want to achieve my vision, I got to be very clear what my KPIs are. And my actions can go on onto a long list. So if you notice, right, you can do so many things. Like, for example, if on a personal level, I want to be 10 kg lighter, what do I measure? If I want to be physically fit, I'll measure my BP, yeah, my BP, and I measure my cholesterol level, for example, and I can't spell, okay, cholesterol level. And if I want to if I'm a medical doctor, if I got vision to have 50 cured or healthy patients, what is my target? Yeah, my target would be patients. Yeah, maybe only 20 cured becomes 50 cured, something like that. But if I'm doing it at the organization level, for example, a ministry level, where I go to talk about a healthy nation, what do you think my KPIs will look like? What do you think? Will it still be about my weight? Will it still be about blood pressure?
Obesity.
Yeah, so it'll be obesity rate, yeah? Yeah, for example, 12% becomes 2%. Anything else? What about NCD rate, the rate of non-communicable diseases? Yeah, maybe it's 20%. I want to change it to maybe only 2%. Yeah. Anything else? Can you see the list goes on, right? Maybe it's about mortality rate, yeah, or aging, what you call it? Yeah, mortality rate.
Morbidity.
Hmm?
Morbidity.
Morbidity, right? Yeah. So you notice that if I am at a different level, my KPIs will change. Even my strategies will change. Yeah. At this time, for example, for a big organization, I'm no longer talking about run 5 kg, 8 km a day. I'll be talking about build more hospitals, right? Train more doctors. And so on. Okay. Right. Am I still on time? Renko?
Yep. You would like to set aside time for Q&A?
Yeah, I like to set aside time for an exercise. Yeah.
How much time?
Have I got time for an exercise? For you all to do an exercise?
Yep, we have 10 minutes more to go.
Or 10 minutes. Okay. Let me try an example with you. Okay. Like, for example, help me on this one. If I want to do my savings, I want to save 100,000 by 2025. Okay. What would be my B? So this means that if I want to save it by December 2025, right? And I want to save 100K. If someone comes up to me in December 2025, what would be my proof? What would be my B? Can you help me? Yeah, you can type on the chat group. What is my KPI?
For which one? Sorry.
For saving $100,000 by December 2025. Yeah. So if someone comes up to me by December 2025 and asks me if I've met my vision, yeah, if I've met my vision, what would my KPI look like? What is my proof?
100,000 K in the bank?
Yep. Yeah. So savings, for example, right? So savings, for example, now I've only got 20K. Yeah. And I want to build it to 100K. Basically, it's as simple as that. Of course, you can add more KPIs if you want to, but that would be the main KPI that you'd be looking for. And what would be the strategies you'll be doing? Save 1,000, yeah, a week or something, right? Something like that. Yeah. Work, good jobs. Can
Good
anything,
jobs.
right? Yeah.
Make more
You get the
money.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do, so if you notice, you can do your okay, A, B, and C depending on the nature or on your vision, and whether it be personal level or be organization level. So all in all, to short stop, when we first started our ambition, we are very blessed to say we've only got one ambition, one strategic plan. You as a young child only got to do your exams, you know, eat, sleep well, pass your exams, you know, and so on. But when you get older, you have many strategic plans, whether it's at a personal level, like for example, have dinner tonight. What's my one strategic plan? For example, I got a work project, is another strategic plan. Yeah, if you're working for an organization and so on. So we're actually having many strategic plans as we get older. No wonder we get stressed, right? But all in all, we need to align everything. So with that, I'll end this workshop. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, our trainer,
Oh,
Sofiana.
do we get
Sorry?
to do question and answer?
Yes, before we go into question and answer, please accept my apology. I forgot to introduce our trainer.
Yes, please do.
Yes. Sorry about that. And our trainer, Sofiana, is a visiting lecturer at University Brunei Darul Islam and founder of A Vision a Day training and consultancy. He's also a strategy planning consultant with EPI, People Management and Consultancy. After retiring from government service in 2018, she leveraged her postgraduate qualification in computer science from the UK and certification in strategy management to contribute to her field. This is Sofiana Chua. Now we have time for question and answer. I will open the floor to the question and answer session. Anybody, if you want to ask question, please go ahead. Anybody? Oh, Mirana, please turn on your
Yes.
mic.
Yes. Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, loud and clear.
Sofiana, thank you so much. I didn't think this would be interesting, but you made it quite interesting. And then that correlation between what we've been doing all our lives, and they're actually very sophisticated names for each of the steps. And I guess that would make it more, you know, more what we do more structured, more strategic, you know. And I was just thinking, do you do that for everything, like for dinner and, you know, like because you're so into it, so that it becomes so natural, everything you do is you go through the ABC. Unmute yourself, please. Let's see if we can.
I wish I say I do, but I don't. So I can be quite disorganized, and most times I'm quite disorganized. But I reckon sometimes in life, well, this is not an excuse, right? But sometimes in life, it's good to have some variations as well as to being too organized. But in many cases, I do this mainly because I notice, especially with our people at work, alignment isn't there. Yeah, aligning your goals to your superiors and all that is not there, and to your organization. And a lot of time we get stressed because of that. So whenever that happens, I always recommend do your ABC. Yeah, define what your B is, define what your C's are. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that if I had known that, I'm okay, for my PQD job. So there's like I didn't have anything like that, but you made it so clear. I think yeah, it's kind of like really opened my eyes that this would be very helpful, because we're always clear, we know where we're going with everything, or if we're going to meet the KPI, or we're going to be successful or not. Yeah, so that's just generally. Now I have a lot of ideas in my mind. It's like, oh, I probably should put that on the template and see how it looks like, rather than just having it in our head. Yeah.
True. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
in the long run, it'll lead to action plans and your Gantt charts and all that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's all from me.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Miranda. Any other taker? Any other questions?
I have a question. Thank you, Sofiana, for the session. When it comes to strategic advice, ideas, I always find that the implementation is the hardest bit to make it happen. From your experience, what are the barriers to implementation? Sofiana, you are muted.
Thank you for the question. Now, what I mentioned earlier on is that even if you've got the best plan, right, it can fail at any point. You can fail at your starting point, you're looking around, you can fail at deciding on one, you can fail at B and C and so on, right? But when you ask about a question about, we've done from E to C successfully, we've got a plan, a robust plan and all that. Implementation, yes, is the hardest, but if we implement according to the strategies that we set out, right? And remember, we tried to make it very lean. We don't do more than we need to. And so what happens is that could possibly, we could possibly say we implemented them successfully. Now, if you look at this, I've got implement and evaluate. Evaluate stands for three things. Do we not just have to implement, we've got to evaluate. Evaluate would be in terms of how we monitor, our progress. It'll be in terms of how we review our progress and how we update or, change our action plan and so on. So E actually stands for MRU, which is we monitor, we review our plan, and then we update it in case what we're doing doesn't work. For example, if I implement my Keep Fit and I want to run 5 kilometers a day, so I implement it, I run 5 kilometers a day. Yeah, I monitor that I do that action. But when I review it, when I stand on my weighing scale, I don't change. My weight is still the same. So maybe I say, okay, maybe I decide not to do any running anymore. So that is where I update my plan. I may remove that action. Yeah. So basically, you're right. Implementation can be the part where you can fail as well, because you may fail to monitor it well, you may fail to review it well, and you may fail to update it well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So excuse me, Sophia. So I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. So the model is not recursive. I mean, it is not how can I put it? There are always modification and along the way. Am I right? It's not recursive. I mean, like fix along the way, you should this, but like at the implementation, there are opportunities that we can modify, we can event chains?
Yes, you're right. Yeah. If we, this is like a cycle. Yeah, it's a cycle. Now, what happens is that when we want to evaluate, right, when we want to monitor, review, and update a plan, mind you, these are action plan that we do, right? If say, for example, time is up, this plan is for 5 years and time is up. So you will move to another cycle, the same thing, and do for a new strategic plan. Okay. Now, in terms of it looks like it's very sequential. You're right. It's like, oh, after my looking around, I'll do my, my thinking, my decision making, and so on. It is not. In real life, I may be as far as B. Then I realize, oh, something is wrong. I got to go back to even my E. So it's very iterative. You may go back and forth a lot of times. Yeah. For example, when so in this case, E is actually very important. We have to look around all the time. We don't just look around, scan the environment one time. We actually scan the environment throughout this whole process. For example, we're already on C, or we're even on D. Then COVID hits. When COVID hits, it will show on our environmental scanning, right? We may have to redo the whole thing again. Yeah. So again, it is very, it's a cycle, but it's also a very iterative process. And another thing I want to add is, as I mentioned earlier, from E to C is only planning. You're only building your plan. You haven't executed yet. So make as many mistakes as you like at this point. Because once you implement, it's harder to take back. Yeah, that was the time, it costs you time and money. So make as many mistakes, and a lot of big organizations, they spend about 6 months doing this whole process. And it's like to and fro and so on.
Once it's implemented, then it's harder to correct or adjust, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you build a house, right? You build a house, when you haven't put concrete on, it's still easy to change your plan. But if you have to knock walls down, that's cost you money and time.
Okay. We will take one more question, if anyone. Otherwise, we will move on to our next trainer. Is anyone want to ask any more question? Okay, thank you. We put our hands together again for our speaker trainer, Sofiana Chua, for the training, the ABC strategy planning. Thank you, Sofiana Chua. Now, I would like to introduce our next speaker, our president, Shelina He.
Sorry,
Yes.
Franco, follow the agenda, please.
Okay, sorry.
Agenda.
All right. Okay, the next agenda is on the evaluation by Lorna Hoffman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not using that clock. I'm using what I'm familiar with, Miranda. So it's next to me here. I really enjoyed, Safina, the talk today, because I love to know a lot about strategic planning. And I felt that your ABC framework provided for me something to hook onto. And so it was easy for me to see how you were going to go through the talk. I felt that it really did provide a blueprint of the planning stage of what you were talking about. And so it was really, really nice to understand what the GO is and what the AO is and how it fitted with those 3 parts of your planning. Then you provided extremely good examples for us to understand at a very simple level what you were talking about. For example, the issue of wanting to be a teacher. We can identify with, the things we want to do in our future careers. And also the issue of weight, which sometimes most of us have to deal with, and how to lose it. So the examples become personal and enjoyable to understand, and we can contribute when you are asking the questions. The skills that you taught us today, there was a number of skills that you taught us today, and they are transferable to if we were to do a strategic plan. I think this is something that I understand more so now that I'm becoming a businesswoman. And so thank you for the set of skills that you taught us today, including how, we have these personal ways of coining phrases, and then we have the business language, like the looking around, and it becomes environmental scanning. So it made it easier to transfer and to think about those things. I really tried very hard to find something to say, perhaps you could improve this and perhaps you can improve that. Perhaps one area would be making more eye contact with us, because you do tend to look down, and you have this engaging look on your face. So we want to see your eyes looking at us. And then when you were asking questions, because it felt like towards the end you were rushing it a small little bit to get to the exercise. Perhaps maybe if we only used one example then, so that you had longer pauses to allow us to come in and give our answers and correct us and so on. But it was totally enjoyable, and the wow factor for me was your ABC framework, which makes anybody who even doesn't understand about strategic planning would be able to follow. They were very useful examples, and the diagrams that you have in your talk can be adapted for use by other people. I look forward to the next time that you present part 2 of this talk. And back to you, MC. But if there's anyone else who wants to offer some inputs on the evaluation, you may go ahead. We do have some time left.
Okay. Thank you, Lorna, for the evaluation. Now we move on to the next session, the table topic session led by the TDM, Milana Rumi. The TDM, Milana Rumi, the floor is yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Renko. Yes, for those who are new to trainers and coaches, we do our table topics a little bit differently. We would ask questions related to the training that was just given. It is to create more engagement, to help us learn better, and also to hone our listening and analytical skills. So with that, I would ask the question first and then see who would like to come up. So we don't have much time, so we're going to probably do this for about 10 minutes total. Number 1, which is the component of strategic plan that costs time and money? Does anyone remember? So if you remember, okay, Lorna.
There are 3 sections. There are 3 sections, and the section which costs time and money is the last section, which is strategies or actions and so on, because it's where you actually are doing what you said you were going to do. And that can be expensive if you make mistakes, I think.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lorna. Yeah, Sofiana did say quite a few times to keep reminding us that implementation costs time and money. And that's where we don't want to do a lot of changes. Okay, so next one. Is key success, name any 3 components of a strategic plan and describe each. All right, name any 3 components of a strategic plan and describe each. Who would like to take that on? Who paid attention? Okay, I don't know, maybe it's a bit hard. I'm gonna give us an easier question.
Nina will try.
Vanina will try. All right.
Yes, the three components of strategic plan is the vision, the vision and mission. B is the targets, where we identify our KPIs, and the third one, C, is the strategies, where we identify our action plans. I hope that's correct.
Is that correct, Sofiana? Yeah?
All right.
Okay. All right. So now I will give a slightly easier question. Define or what is GO and what is AO? All right, let's give someone else and see if someone else would like to take it. If not, somebody could do a repeat.
Can I try?
Sure.
GO refers to goal oriented. What we are what we are envisioning, and then AO, right? AO, action oriented. The strategies that we would like to devise in order to make our goal into action.
Yeah. More specifically, like for example, what would be GO? Like she mentioned earlier, like what is it? So for example, one of it is vision. So what else is GO?
Mission, GO,
Yeah.
vision,
Vision, mission.
Values.
vision, mission, core values. No,
Vision is already action oriented, right? So vision, measures, targets, those are goal oriented or GO. And then action oriented is, for example, KPI. Something else? Strategies and like the things that cost money, cost time and money, right?
Okay,
Action.
okay.
So anything that is action. All right. Okay. I'm gonna ask one more question. Thank you. One more question. Is key success measures part of A, B, or C? Please describe. Is key success measures part of A, B, or C? So key success measures, is that a part of A, B, or C? And describe. These are hard questions. Lecture. All right.
Lorna will try. Lorna likes to try.
Lorna would like to try again. All right. Lorna
I think
would like.
Daisy has put it in the chat. It's B. It's part of B. And it is where you define what amount of weight you will lose, what dress size you will be, and so on. That's where you put your measures in that particular category, I think.
Yes. Okay. The teacher is very happy because you're getting that. All right. And then this would be the last question. What is the difference between vision and mission? What is the difference between vision and mission? So, Renko, you want to take it?
I can try, but I can't actually remember. I think the vision is the ultimate direction that you want to go, something you want to achieve, and you turn into a achievable mission. Is that correct?
According to my note, vision is an aspiration, direction, dream, and then mission. So that is more goal oriented. And then mission is action oriented. It's purpose, core business values, guiding principles. Is that part of, no. So actually guiding principles and core values are part of the goal orientation. But okay, mission is purpose. And that's as far as I know. The purpose is the purpose. How would you define it?
Yeah, so let me give an example. For example, if you have a university, right? Your vision, your vision would be to be a top 10 in the world by 2030, for example. So that's your vision, your dream, your aspiration. Your mission of the university is your core business. What's my core business? I do training, I do teaching, I do research. Yeah. Now, so that would be my mission. Why am I here? Why is the university in existence? I'm here for a purpose, and my purpose is to teach and to do research. Now, with vision, it will change every time you meet your vision. For example, every few years, it can change. Yeah. Once I've already become top 10, next time I want to be top 5. So vision is not constant. Vision changes.
Okay.
Every so often, every few years, right? But mission is constant. Your core business doesn't change. Mission oriented, but it doesn't change. It's what we do. It's our why we are here. Now, if the university decides no more to become a teaching and research institution, it decides to go into F&B. Yeah, I want to be the best, the biggest restaurant in the world or in Brunei. Yeah, for example, that is the vision, but the mission would no longer be research and teaching. It will be about F&B. So yeah. So again, mission only changes if your core business changes, your purpose changes.
Your core business, your core, sorry, your what is it, core business or your purpose change?
So that's your mission. It only changes if you change big time, right? Like change, but then you usually don't change your mission.
Okay. Wow.
Mission
All
change.
right. Wow, I think we need to have a longer training. This is very interesting, and I can see that we're all still grappling, and I think we need longer so that we can actually apply it into something that we're having in our lives. Yeah. So that is a taste of our table topics, and as you can see, I'm also learning with you guys too. So thank you, Sofiana, for opening our minds and broadening our vision or horizon. Thank you. Back to you, Renko. Good.
Okay, we thanks Miranda Rumi for leading us the table topic session. And now we will have a 5-minute bio break and group photo. Shall we take the group photo first? Before we go to bio break, who is going to take the group photo?
We can.